Doing that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Summer.
Wow, with just days to go before for the official start of the new school year, how prepared are our schools? What are the expectations? What are the challenges for 22-23? Now, Sonja Harrison, newly minted president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, is here with us this morning.
Morning.
Boy, you've been working. Good morning.
Morning, man. Welcome to Smile.
Good morning.
So good to
Thank
have you this
for
morning.
having me.
How are our teachers doing? How are y'all doing?
Our teachers are the resilient people that they are. They are doing the best under existing circumstances. For those of us who choose to remain, just last night I was having a conversation with a friend, and she was telling of a teacher how, there is some low morale in some cases, anxieties in some spaces, not sure what the staffing complement is going to look like, and then that will have to, that's internal matters as to how principals will have to redeploy staff, all of that. So there are some anxieties there because we are not going to know the true picture.
Until the day comes.
Until the day comes.
Why did you stay?
Why did I stay? I have never had ambitions of living anywhere other than Jamaica.
But why?
Because I just love this nation, and except for my masters, all my degrees, my education accolades I acquired right here in Jamaica, and I just think that all my giftings and talents must be used to build this nation.
And you wanted to go to Karamak at one point, but you ended up in teaching.
Yes.
Obviously, you're here for a reason, because now you occupy this position where you speak on behalf of such an integral group of people to what we do. We're reading stories, Lasagna, and maybe you can help us set the record straight, of schools hemorrhaging teachers. We heard a number being bandied about, around 600. You were just clarifying for us what those figures actually represent. So 252 resigned from the system. There are another couple of hundred who are on leave, and a couple of hundred who are set to retire. There's discussion also that we've had on the show about schools possibly having to drop subjects because there's nobody to teach them.
That's scary.
We hear about, retired teachers being called back, teachers only being called back. Are we in crisis right now?
Well, the teaching profession globally is having a challenge. There is an exodus from the profession. So persons are leaving, they don't want to teach anymore. That is indicative of something, and that we need to find out what that is. Is it that the world is I don't know, causing a kind of frustration where education is concerned in order for us to push a particular narrative? We don't know. We can explore that. But just teaching, and as a result of that, it is having implications for us here, because our teachers, the remuneration package is not well. It is certainly meager. And in light of that, it will pull persons to go. So we are having, and prior to the pandemic, and we've always had teachers migrating. It's not a new
phenomenon,
issue.
yeah.
But this year in particular, because of the great exodus and the void overseas, coupled with our frustration here and poor pay, then it is pushing several persons to go. And there are persons who are actually leaving the profession too, because they're just frustrated as to, I call them the little mosquito-like issues that plague our sector, in terms of just how the teacher business is taken care of and the lack of resourcing of education.
Madam President, how much the pandemic would have had to do with that? I know there's a teacher at a school that I love who just said he couldn't manage teaching online and he just can't take it anymore. How much did that cause teachers to say bye?
Well, one, I want to say teachers migrated during the pandemic. Yes, I found that very interesting when I found out. Two, it was a frustrating time. It was a transitional time. It was thrust upon us. It was a mental pressure balance. so much, even we were always held responsible for the children, and even during the pandemic, when they were at home with their parents, we were still expected to be doing that kind of monitoring. And I'm saying, oh, but they're on the other side of the screen, and the parents need to, you know, so that kind of challenge, the skill sets, some persons did not necessarily have those, so you're learning on the job. But thankfully, we went back to, or we're back in the physical space. But just generally, the frustration when we look at, you don't have enough guidance counselors in our schools.
So the teachers who don't have the skill sets have to be that as well.
We don't have nurses in primary schools. We don't have, principals operate in small primary schools without clerical assistance. So every letter that is to be written, everything, they have to do that. There are some principals who are teaching principals. When you look at the monies that you get to carry out the business of education, it is woefully inadequate. Food prices have shot up over the last year or more significantly, yet we still receive the same $120 for lower school for the past children and $150 for upper school for grades 4 to 6. And so when you look at those monies and you're expected to provide nutritional options for the children in our schools, it is a challenge when we look at what we get per child, $2,500 per child for the year. When you break that down.
For the year?
For the year.
US,
At the primary
US,
level.
2,500 US.
2,500 JA,
For the year?
Jamaican dollars. Yes, that's what we receive per child. In addition to other grants that we get, janitorial grant and internet grant for me at a small primary school. That internet grant for the tranche is $18,000.
Wow.
Yes. For the tranche, like we get 4 disbursements for the year, and one tranche is $18,000.
Okay. So okay, let's go back to the original question. How ready are we heading back into school? We, as parents, as guardians, we listen to you speak. What is there to motivate a teacher? I mean, outside of obviously wanting success for the child and for the country, but with all of these factors, should we be concerned that the folks heading back into the classroom are not motivated to even want to be there?
So that is a reality on the ground. It is, and as an association, through our counseling services that we have across the region and through the different seminars, new teacher seminar, contact teacher seminars, and we will have to work on continue motivating our professionals to, because we do an important job. It is an important
critical job.
Critical, and for many children, school is that safe haven. And when it is, we had the pandemic, I was particularly concerned because being at a high school for 12 of my 16 years teaching, I know that there were some children that they came to school so early. I said, child, oh, you're so early, and they're the last to leave because school was that place of refuge for. And so we have to continue, even in the face of the adversities and the challenges, that we must remain. And many of us are driven internally and certainly are influenced by God, that what we do, the government can never ever really 100% pay us, but they need to do better, but they really can't compensate us, because what we do for nation building and what we do for the children is critical.
I want you to look in that camera, and this one right there,
Yes.
and speak to the Minister of Education. I'll give you about 30 seconds.
Oh, Minister, the role of Lasagna in the capacity as president is certainly not to seem anti-ministry, but I seek of you to extend professional courtesy to us as the professionals, the educators on the ground. Speak with us and not to us. consult us. There are many policies. You have thoughts and ideas, policies that you would like to implement. Consult with the practitioners on the ground and allow us to help you to make the right decisions as we go forth to craft, and we must revisit our philosophy of education and how it is we truly fund education in this nation.
Great to see you. Such a big job, but we need you.
Bless you.
What?
And thanks on behalf of the entire country.
Yeah.
We need you. God bless you
most
and your
welcome.
family and your school. She's the principal at St. Faith's Primary. Where's St. Faith's Primary?
That's in Glengough, St. Catherine.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
so-
big up Glen Goff.
Say hi
And
to
to all
them.
my 5 teachers there, only 5, yes.
Say hi to them
Yes.
for me, please. Stay with us for a second. Newly appointed president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Sonja Harrison.
We're approaching 7:30, so the second edition of News in 5 is next.
Soon come.